and then I'll hit go live. We are in the process, some might say, of going live. One of those people is me. I would say that, as we are live.
That's great. I'm here under duress, so
That's
I told you I was not the host here anymore. So.
I saved that for my wife, except I'm here under Durex. It's a brand of condoms that they give away for free at the Planned Parenthood.
It is. It's a sponsor.
So
we should get a condom sponsorship. That'd be fucking dope.
that would be fair.
Yeah.
You really want me to host this now?
Yeah, I told you I was done with this show.
All right. True believers, welcome to It's Thursday night. It's time to fight, or at least get yelled at by Chuck, all right? Because wait, did I roll a wild? You're a Marvel Crisis Protocol Plavog. I am your brand new host. Tim.
Oh, we're finally live, Bale.
Has a computer. France. With me, as always, is Dan Cole.
Hi. Always.
Who, is always here, always in our hearts, and always in our farts.
If I'm not here, I'm upstairs.
That's true. That's true. Also, special guest this week, Big Chuck from Elite 8 Showdown, making an appearance on our Marvel Crisis Protocol show. Welcome, Chuck. How are you? How have you been?
Good. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it, bud.
Absolutely. So, one thing that we always like to start the show with, Chuck, just since, this is your first time here.
Yep.
We do games played and hobby thoughts.
Sure.
So we like to start each episode with kind of what we've been doing throughout the week as far as our hobby stuff goes, as well as take a look at what game we played on Monday night when we did, the Power Phase over on the Twitch, live from Bearded Dragon Games and Hobbies.
Okay.
Dan, I believe you played a game this week?
I did.
And what faction or affiliation, I guess, is what the kids are calling it now, did you play?
And Spider Foes.
The Spider Foes.
Yeah. I played the 10 Tickles,
The 10 Tickles.
where all the characters had some kind of tentacle gimmick.
All right, so
You are so cool.
so who was on the roster?
So we had, who did I have? Venom, Carnage, and what was the other Spider Foe?
Dr. Octopus?
Dr. Octopus, he's got tentacles. And then there was Omega Red, because he's got tentacles.
That's true.
And then there was Angela, because we played 20 points. And I think it was last week Zach Duncan argued that she kind of had tentacles with her ribbons.
Yeah, they're living ribbons.
Yeah.
So
it's close enough to tentacles.
And out of all those characters, she's probably the character and model specifically that has close to, if not 10, while the others don't really have that many. Dr. Octopus has 4 tentacles.
That many tickles.
Yeah. So,
You know what you could do with all those tentacles?
what's that?
You could like and subscribe to your YouTube channel, bud.
Wow, that's a great idea, actually. I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, no
Thank you.
problem. Glad I'm,
Rest.
And you
Thanks for having
played
me on, guys.
You played against me.
I did.
I was playing a list that Zach Duncan actually put in the YouTube comments last week. That was a 20-point Cabal list. It was Sin-led with Boss Crones, Hydra Bob, Mystique.
So if you're not forgetting already, you got a lot to go.
Yeah, I got a lot to go. Bullseye.
Bullseye.
And then there was 2 more characters there.
Bob. You said
I
Bob.
said Bob.
Baron
Zemo. And
Viper.
Viper.
Right, she didn't really do much, so it's easy to forget.
Wow, rude. She definitely got thrown into Hydra Bob twice. As far as dodge rolls go, she provided the most damage to anyone on my team from my own team.
It was too bad you only had size 2s for me to throw.
I also regret only giving you size 2s to throw. But we played... What Crisis side did we play?
The Mayor Fisk.
Oh, that's
with
right.
the witnesses. And another one. Rubble. The alien ship crashes downtown.
Oh, the Kree Power Core.
Yeah.
Yes. So,
Rubble's on the double.
I think it went pretty well. Those were it was a neat 2 Crisis Eye to see together. I thought they moved. I thought there'd be a little bit more movement of the objectives themselves.
The witnesses?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also misread how those games work.
Right? We always like, oh, that's how it happens in like round 3. No, but I like that one because it was all or nothing in a lot of ways. Everything
Yeah.
was worth 2 points, so it was big gains or not a lot at all.
Well, and in a standard game like that, generally you have someone controlling each player usually controls one of the sides, and then you're kind of fighting over the Kree power core, and that's kind of what it turned into.
Yeah, let's just let you have it.
Yeah. Yep.
Doc Ock found it because he's a genius,
He was.
and then you took him out relatively quick, and Mystique stole it and ran away.
She did. Very stealthily. Very, very longly,
Longly,
some might say.
longly stealthy. Yeah, and I said, bye. I'm not going to chase you down.
Yeah, that's also true. Carnage did some absolute decimation.
He was disgusting
Second-
in a good way for me.
Yeah.
This time. The first time I used him, he kind of flubbed it. He didn't roll very well. I never got to do a paint the town red and heal back up because he just kept getting people down to 1, as always happens.
Yeah.
But round 2, this game was insane. He dazed 3 people.
3 people.
He attacked at least 3 times, if not more. I think I moved him and attacked, and then used Paint the Town Red to attack again, and then used the Tactics card. I always forget what it's called for Carnage, where he can move.
Carnage
and attack.
rules.
Yeah, that one. And then he attacked again, and it was just insane how much damage he did. That first
did.
attack roll, 5 dice, he got 7 hits,
Yeah.
and you blocked maybe 1 or something.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, so he took out, who was it? Did he take out Bob in the first round? Bob, Viper,
No, it wasn't.
and...
No, he was in the. They were on my left flank. Carnage was in the middle. He took out Mystique and Sin,
Zemo.
and I think Zemo as well.
Yeah. Yep.
Because I pulled Sin over so she could be affected by the bitter rivals I'd used on Baron Zemo,
That's right.
which made it just a little bit easier to take her out. Because it was like, if I can daze a bunch now, and if I keep up this output, then I can remove models from the table, which worked out pretty well. 'Cause you
Absolutely.
had 7.
I did have 7, and they went down just as quick.
They did go down pretty quick.
I think you KO'd at the end a total of 4 out of the 7.
Pretty sure, yeah, that sounds right.
And everyone was flipped except for OG Boss Crones.
Yes, he was a tank.
He was.
I also didn't attack him much.
He was, as far as like pain goes, I felt that he was pretty like inured to it.
Yeah, accurate. Yeah, and I had everybody flipped on my side. Carnage was dazed when we ended, so he would have flipped.
Yeah.
Except for Venom, who was still at full health because he healed himself attacking Bob.
I don't think I attacked Venom at all. I don't
Yeah.
know how he got. Oh, he
Yeah, I
got
think-
damage to him from the witness.
I think
that
it was only from the witness he got hurt. So at one point I was like, well, I have power on him. I might as well we are Venom into Bob
Yeah.
and heal those 2 damage on him. Venom. He was a great control piece that game. He rolled well for attacks too, but he was more. He took care of Bob and Viper by himself
Yeah.
with taking no damage in return. So he did his job.
Bob also did his job of never actually leaving the board, regardless of him being dazed literally every single round in the game.
Yeah, I think I did a total of like 10, 12 damage to him
Oh yeah, he's a tank.
with his 6 total stamina.
But as far as hobby stuff for the week, what have you guys worked on? What have you done? Have you painted? Have you sculpted? Have you clipped? Have you modeled?
I painted some varnish on Mysterio's helmet the other day
Okay.
and put him back in the display case. But no, I haven't gotten around to more of it lately because I just have Amazing Spider-Man to finish, and I just haven't had the motivation to paint the webbing and whatnot and all the stuff on his base that I don't want to paint.
It's been almost an epidemic of like a slump, like a painting hobby slump, where just it's this time of year, when the seasons change, it gets colder, just nothing's getting done. I, for the first time in a long time, got nothing done in my backlog of painting or model building.
Wow. That says a lot.
It does, and by the first time in a long time, I mean I am on the longest streak I've ever been on of not doing anything in that vein at all. Chuck, I know that you are a pretty big avid painter. Have you done anything this week?
Nope.
No.
No, I didn't touch a paintbrush.
I mean, I could see that. You've probably been a little bit nervous, excited, titillated that you were going to be guest starring on this week's episode of Wait, Did I Roll a Wild? So
Yeah,
it probably
yeah.
kind of was most of your consumption for the week.
Yeah, I don't know. I got burnt out from painting everybody else's stuff for them, so I just don't care about painting stuff. I had a weird thing happen with my lizard where I put like a glaze. I guess it was more of a glaze than a wash. I guess now I something about it, but it sat on top of all the raised edges, and none of it ran into the recesses.
Oh.
Yeah, that picture you sent in the Discord was wild because it kind of looks like you dry brushed it
Yeah,
with the way that it's on.
yeah.
the
I don't
raised
know
parts.
what happened or how it worked, or because I definitely went all over that model.
Was it during a full moon?
I don't know, man.
Ooh.
I just work here. So at some point I'm going to get that lizard done. I just don't care. I don't care about him anymore. I don't know why. I guess I'm just so turned off at the idea of ever putting a paintbrush to a model ever again in any capacity of any expertise or existence, that I probably would just sell all my stuff to the first person who gave me $2,000. You know what I mean? So if you'd like to buy
Good
my
deal.
all my entire collection for $2,000, let me know. There's $5,000 worth of stuff there. I did the math today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
The same math that last week maybe led us to think that there was 4 total characters that had 5 strength builders that were threat 3.
Yes, Tim, because I would make stupid, outlandish statements that wouldn't immediately boost our algorithm because everybody would be correcting me on how dumb I was. Clearly, I just say dumb things on this show in hopes that it wouldn't trigger a bunch of people, so somebody might actually watch this show other than like the 3 people sitting here. Clearly, I'm just dumb, Tim. I don't have genius, evil-minded ideas where I just sit around and go, you know what boosts algorithms that I learned and got my minor in internet marketing in college? Interaction with posts. And you know how you do that? You just get people to scream at you. So, thank you for everybody who corrected me. Thank you for all the engagement. Our last video has probably some of the most comments than any other video we've ever put up. You're welcome, Tim.
Just imagine you like the evil genius strumming your fingers together.
Now, those of you listening and watching this right now, I know your immediately gut reaction is, fine, I'm never going to correct Chuck again. That's exactly what he wants. Don't do that. Don't you dare do that. Go over there.
Don't dare
Yeah.
not correcting. Chuck.
Don't
Yes.
Don't definitely correct me on this video, and then again on the Facebook post, and then over at our Twitter at Top Tier Casual when that post drops. Definitely don't do it over there or give us a follow. Definitely don't do it on our Instagram at The Professional Casual. None of those things. Don't ever correct me ever again, because that might help our algorithm, and then maybe somebody else might actually watch this show. You'd be a dummy if you did that. I did take some photos, and I looked at Miniature Market, and if anybody wants to cry a little bit, they bumped their arrival date for Blade and Moon Knight to December 2021 or January 2022. Just a bracket. So if you were thinking we were going to get anything in October, apparently not.
It sounds like not even this year.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like we're going to get Convocation. We're not going to get Dormammu. We're not going to get Blade or...
Some people already have Hulkbuster and...
Yeah, the
Miss
UK
Marvel.
apparently already got everything. And
Yeah, so the Dark Prince and Tarquan in chat have been painting Miss Marvel and Convocation this week.
Yeah,
So,
Thanks, guys. Rub it in.
yeah. Yeah, it is what it is. I really don't even care anymore about anything.
The wait's gone on long enough that it's just like, I'll be happily surprised when they show up. I've been buying other things lately because there's a hole in my gaming budget that hasn't been filled by MCP. So,
I got to fill those holes, man.
yeah, buddy.
Yep.
yeah.
Actually kickstarted a miniatures game last night. I'm going to look up what it's called because I can't remember now.
Neat.
So we got a bunch of news this week. We got an overhaul for the Guardians of the Galaxy, which I am absolutely stoked for.
Yes.
I have long loved this affiliation regardless of their crappy affiliation leadership ability.
That's true. You have always played them unaffiliated.
played them unaffiliated.
Yeah, you took the Power Bottom 10,
Uh-huh.
played them during the league, except for you never actually ran them. You always ran them unaffiliated.
I ran them twice unaffiliated out of the 5 league games that I played.
Did you ever actually use the leadership ability if you did have them
I
affiliated?
did, and it was in a wipeout where I used it on Nebula just to make sure I killed the final character that was on the board.
Oh, okay.
No, actually, I used it in Chuck and I's game as well.
You didn't.
So I had Starlord up. It was on the one where we were teleporting around. You had Medusa on there, and I used winging it to make sure that Starlord stayed alive to be able to jet set over and then use the power gem to count, I think, Medusa's victory points as mine at the end of that round.
Yeah, you ran that game unaffiliated. I just edited it.
Starlord was on the table. He absolutely was not unaffiliated.
Okay, then you need to watch your wording at the beginning of that video. So head over to our YouTube when that video drops.
Correct him.
And correct me. See if I'm wrong. You know?
But what they did, and this is something that
Yeah, let's
we
talk about a
talked
bunch of bullshit with this team, shall we? Oh, is that not what we're doing tonight? Okay. Wasn't sure.
So they redid the affiliation leadership ability for Guardians, and it is absolutely marvelous. It's a lot better than what I thought it was going to be.
I like how they basically just got rid of the card bullshit, and you get 3 winging it tokens during the power phase.
Yeah.
And you just give it to 3 different people, and they can spend it to reroll up to 2 dice.
Each. Like.
But there are some caveats here.
Mm-hmm.
It's one time that you can re-roll up to 2 dice.
Yeah.
And then I assume you discard the token after you've used it?
Yeah, because they spend a token.
Right. So it's an all or nothing.
Right.
Right. There may be some confusion about that on the internet that I saw.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. That's it. I'm done. Go ahead.
Okay.
Wait, what was the confusion?
People thought that if you had a winging it token, that you could re-roll during that round up to 2 times. So like let's say I'm going to make an attack in my activation during round 1. I could just re-roll one of those dice and still hold on to one. And then if I got attacked, listen, I don't know, man. It's the damn internet. Who the fuck knows?
That's a weird way for people to read that.
I don't know. They're idiots. Look at the thing. But no, it's just like an all or nothing. So you have to decide whether you're going to spend both at that time or not, which I think is interesting. It's a good, easy way to balance it because it's an all or nothing reroll.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the round, they all get removed, which, okay. I mean, I understand why they put that in there, but...
Yeah.
So you can't stack a whole bunch. So no matter what, at most you have 3 on the board.
Correct. And never, from the way that I read it, never more than 1 per character.
Right.
Because choose up to 3 allied characters.
Yep. Now, it doesn't say different, but it says give each chosen character. So if you choose a character more than once, they only receive it once anyway.
Sounds like it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
We can't give them multiple. It doesn't sound like you can give them multiple winging it tokens.
But they also gave him hit and run, which was desperately needed for him.
This fits so well. Looking at the card, I was like, oh yeah, he didn't have that.
Yeah.
So it's, yeah.
He had like a 50% blank card initially.
It's just nice that he has something to spend power on other than full auto, which is a great attack.
Correct.
But it gives him any options.
Yep. They kept Plucky Attitude, I believe, just the same. This is perfect. This is a perfect rework.
Yeah.
It's not too much. It's not overpowered. It's not. It's great. He's a very great, well-costed leadership of 3 threat. You know.
He's solid. And he was so close to being real good before.
Correct.
That it was like, okay, he's not bad. Mm-hmm. I don't think he was ever bad other than his leadership
Do you
ability,
have the old card?
But
Yes.
he's
Did
solid.
Did they flip-flop his stamina?
Nope. He was always 6 and then 5.
Was he? All right. I thought he was 5 and then 6 for some reason.
Yeah, it was super weird because that was like, especially in the core box, was kind of a bad guy thing. Like you started with higher health and then it got lower, and he was the first one to, I think maybe the first one
Look at them.
that got
very
lower.
near the
Look at
beginning.
those abs. Dang. All right.
Right?
You're right. It's jacked.
I don't know. Yeah, it's cool. I like it.
I think it's solid. I saw a meme today of the Homer Simpson disappearing into the bush meme, except it was Sam Wilson, Captain America, disappearing and then coming back out as Star-Lord. I was like, oh, yeah. I mean,
That's a good one.
I really like that. I think that's a really welcome change, and it's going to put Guardians actually back into somewhat relevancy, which I am just absolutely stoked for.
Yes. Because they're super fun anyway. I like all the characters in Guardians. It was like, why would I play Guardians when they essentially don't get leadership? Because it's so...
Correct.
Especially when their tactic cards are good. Like the Guardian-specific tactic cards I want to use if I take it. I don't want to use them to get a couple rerolls.
Yeah.
Like it's
That's why you bring Bitter Rivals.
So I don't need the rerolls as much?
No. So you can just use that card to throw it away since you forget to play it.
Oh, yeah. I did use it on Monday.
That's
Fine.
true.
50% of the time, I use it every time.
Okay, Meta Chaser, whatever.
So we also got updates for Groot and Rocket. Groot's was pretty straightforward. All they changed is they increased the range of his strike, which was so desperately needed.
Oh, so good.
So good. And
Doubled it from 2 to 3.
Yeah. Yep. And Living Plant got reduced to only once per turn, which... And granted, this was a huge reason why I really always adored Guardians of the Galaxy, was the throughput on his heal was net positive. So regardless of how much damage you took, when it was his turn, unless you wanted to spend it and waste it on something else for some reason, you could full heal every single turn without fail. Which was awesome. But that is now gone. But now we can attack from further away.
Yeah, that range 3 is such a... From 2 to 3 is such a boost.
It really is.
It's literally double the distance from 3 inches to 6 inches. So, like going from 3 to 4 is nice, but this is a larger increase.
Correct. That plays into Rocket's change as well, in a huge way, where these kind of compound on each other, because I believe it's often been said that they are not two separate characters; they're one threat 5, and with those changes, it really plays into that, because what they changed on Rocket was the personal bodyguard is now range 2. So
Which it needed to be.
It really did.
There was no sense. It never made sense to me that it was only range 1.
Well, and every time I played it, I always assumed it was range 2, and I didn't get in there. I was like, oh, it's only 1. That's stupid. Why is it range 1? But it being range 2 with Groot having a longer strike now is just awesome.
It opens up a lot more options where they don't have to go hand in hand, like literally
Correct.
holding each other's hands across the table. Range 2 is makes a lot of sense.
The other huge boost for Rocket is they made him nimble. So he
superpower.
now does not... What's that?
Is it a new superpower?
Yeah.
It's only the second time we've seen a whole new superpower that I can think of.
Oh, as far as like actual name convention and everything? Yeah, that's fair.
Well, like Hulk got a new superpower with the change. Now Rocket has a new superpower on his card.
He didn't have this before.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, like...
Dan's really excited about the fact that they're giving him new things.
No, I
Okay.
I agree. I didn't know, because like Starlord got Hit and Run, which was a new superpower for Starlord. I didn't know if
yeah.
you were saying it was a
Yeah,
brand
Dan,
new one that we...
idiot.
I guess with Starlord,
That we haven't
we
seen
had
before.
predicted that he would get that, so it was like,
Correct.
okay, good, he needed this. Rocket, it's like, oh, this is cool. This is brand new and different.
So, and one of the best ways to deal with Rocket initially was, oh, just throw Groot into him.
Yeah, dead.
And now, number one, Groot can be a little bit further away. And two, he's not going to take any damage from it, which is
He's immune
baller.
to being thrown.
He's immune to being thrown.
He's immune to being thrown.
That's what it says.
Yep,
right
right
there.
there.
Nimble.
Yep.
Cannot be thrown.
You know what I mean. You know?
You
Thanks,
do.
Dan.
Do we want to explain that one? at
Nope.
all?
You could find out if you went over to patreon.com/professionalcasual. For as little as $1, get access to our Discord and see where I corrected Tim. Only after Dan did, because I didn't get that far in the chat.
As we know, one of Chuck's favorite things to do is be more like Dan.
Yep.
So,
I try to be. I aspire to be just like Dan.
but I don't believe they changed anything else on him, correct? He still always benefits from cover. He's still size 2.
Size 1.
That's what I said. You know what I meant, Dan.
2 threat. But yeah, he's only one size 1 character that we have.
Hydron Enforcer was always 4 energy? I thought it was 3.
Yeah, it's always been 4.
Oh, all right. Then I was joking.
It's very fair.
Do you save your favorite for last here, Tim?
No, Bullseye wasn't in this update. But Gamora
Should've
got
known.
some boss
hold on.
stuff.
Wait, you said something that I thought was interesting. You said that like these characters were always designed to be taken as like a 5 threat instead
That's
of like.
how I've seen people refer to them online.
Sure, yeah, but that's actually not true. Everybody took Rocket. Nobody took Groot. Because Rocket could stand by himself as a 2 threat, and he was a solid 2 threat.
Yeah.
But it was never like, yeah, everybody will take Rocket. Nobody's taking Groot unless you're having a funsies game. They've now made it where like Groot is worth taking with Rocket every time,
For sure.
especially if you're playing Guardians.
Yeah.
And I even would argue if you're gonna take Rocket and like out of affiliation, taking Groot actually might be worth it now. You know what I mean? Like Groot actually has some playability here at a stacked hitting like a 4, but he's actually a 3. You know what I mean? I think he's I don't know. I think it's cool. I like it. I really don't. I get the idea because also did they increase his Rocket's Mystic? Was he always 3 Mystic?
Yeah.
All right, maybe I've just never actually played this game before. I don't really think he needed Nimble. Like the whole thing is that he's literally a glass cannon. They've just now made him slightly more durable. Dumb, stupid. I think it was a dumb move on AMG's part. They should just throw the character out altogether. But I don't know. Otherwise, then now I see them always being taken together.
I'm a little surprised that he just doesn't suffer damage from collisions.
He can't be thrown.
As opposed to he doesn't suffer collisions with other characters. Like, is that how Kingpins work? Is he also just immune to
Says he
damage?
does not suffer damage from collisions as well.
Okay.
I think. Let's double
So
check.
I could see. I'm a little surprised it's not just doesn't suffer collision from damage from collision with other characters.
He's
like
a big boy.
if you throw Rocket into a car or throw a car at Rocket, it probably should
yeah.
still hurt. But
Yeah, so Kingpins is specifically only other characters, so you can throw cars and stuff at them.
so I'm a little surprised Rocket doesn't have the same thing there. But I guess it's the idea that he's so little he can just like flatten himself down and the car misses him kind of thing.
Or if he gets thrown, he does like a cool like ninja flip and bounces back on.
Right.
Yeah.
You try to throw him, he just grabs on your arm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So last update for the Guardians was Gamora, who they made a lot tankier.
She needed it real bad.
She did. They filled her up in the one hole that she had left, which was her durability. They gave her an additional stamina on both sides.
Yeah.
Gave her stealth, which with Deadliest Woman in the game or in the galaxy,
Deadliest woman in the game.
and by that, of course, I mean martial prowess. She now has like a vanilla World of Warcraft hunter dead zone where there is only one area you should be attacking her from because you can't attack her from 3 out. And if you're attacking her from within 2, she can potentially use martial prowess and do damage back to you. So you have this weird little dead zone between 2 and 3 where
That magic 3 inches.
that magic 3 inches. Sometimes that's all you need. Spit on it first and then get in there. But is that all they changed? Was it just those 2 things?
That was it, yeah. And
She
just a
really didn't need much.
little pip of health. As they said, when they initially play tested her, she was just tearing up the board as a 4 threat. So they thought making her more of a glass cannon really fit. And then as more and more things came out, they realized she was too glass cannon-y. And she was taking out too many characters could one-shot her with 5 health.
Correct.
With completely average defenses being 3-3-3. So giving her that extra little pip on both sides, making it 6-6, is a huge difference. It's really hard to do 6 damage with 1 attack.
Right. Yep.
So I think I like both these changes. I think we see stealth almost too often. I think it's a superpower that's all over the place, but I don't think it's inappropriate here. If she's supposed to be like an assassin, she should be good at hiding. So
Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
Yep. I completely agree. I'm excited to use her again. I didn't use her the last time I played Guardians, but now I'm stoked to have her back in lists.
I know Danny will be really excited that she's just better
Yeah.
because she loved Gamora already. Mm-hmm. And it's like, oh, she's harder to take off the board. Okay.
That and it's difficult for me to not like anyone with a long movement.
Yeah, I love long movement.
You know, Viper comes close, real close, but
I just need more experience with Viper and get a decent game out of her. I have not seen her perform on our show yet.
Yeah. So
Every single game she's in, she just gets punked.
So on this past week, I set her up to do some great things, and I just couldn't roll literally any successes on her spender. I was like, oh, I can get over here, I can teleport. It's range 3 away. I'll teleport 1 away, and then I'll be able to go back and claim the point, and just whiffed every single dice she threw.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I liked it though.
Yeah.
Because it was against me.
Listen, it looked cool. Like, she was jumping around, she was teleporting, she was shooting guns and throwing swords.
It was crazy that she actually got power on her to do the teleport.
Right. Yeah. Bob gave it to her directly with his head. But, so we also got some new updates today, earlier from the stream.
Yeah, like half an hour ago.
For Valkyrie, Enchantress, and Medusa.
First impressions.
Nope. In-depth analysis. We have Valkyrie, who they didn't change a whole ton on, but I think there's been few nerfs so far. Shuri and MODOK and some of those just had the whole modified dice step clarifications. But Dragonfang, actually, this is what I felt was kind of a hard hit. Dragonfang now only flurries on a crit in a wild. Granted, it's still 7 dice. It's still another free attack, but, I mean, that's going to... should very legitimately cut down the amount of times that is happening on a regular basis. No longer as reliable. They also reduced... something. They did something with her throw.
They increased the power cost of Asgardian Might of her throw from 2 to 3.
Which it's still only
huge.
size 2. Yeah, a 50% increase for a size 2 throw. I mean, granted, she's a threat 3 character, and it does do terrain features or enemy characters, so you can still chuck cars.
Right,
and most characters in the game.
Yeah, the vast majority of characters. I think the idea is that when it costs 2, she could do it every single turn. Because she's Asgardian and gets 2 power no matter what, unless she's stunned or poisoned.
Yeah.
But, so making it so she has to do a little something to be able to Asgardian Might makes sense because anybody else outside of Vision in Steve's Avengers needs to build up a little bit before a throw. So I'm pretty okay with that change.
I often forget that she gets that additional power for being an Asgardian and that kind of being able to charge round 1 before you attack and stuff like that it's pretty solid.
I think she's still a good 3. She might not be like top 3 anymore, but maybe with other changes that are happening, she's still good.
Yeah.
Or should be. She never performs on our channel for whatever reason. She likes to charge in and flub.
Correct. Yeah. And then roll no defense or positive defense dice.
Want to know how I know Dan's never watched a game that I've ever played with Enchantress?
You've played games?
Yeah, one time. And I had Enchantress.
That's fair.
She stole and held objectives. That's literally all I did with her all turn. That's what I use her for.
Yeah.
I don't remember her defenses being 225. I thought they were 335.
Oh, Enchantress?
Yeah.
Oh, they were 225.
Oh, all right. Oh, that's right, because she has the delay. Siren's Call, them editing it. We're talking about Enchantress still, right?
We were talking about Valkyrie, but Enchantress
were we?
is next. Yeah.
My bad. Let's go back to Valkyrie. Dumb. Here's why I say
Chuck's hot takes tonight.
I would have just rather... I don't know what I would have rather seen. I don't think... She never performed well for me, specifically.
Yeah.
I don't think Dragon's Fang needed the adjustment.
That seems like a hard hit to her. Like,
Was it
legitimately.
just a wild before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To add a crit and a wild, that is kind of hard.
That's pretty intense. Like, I would have rather have seen it if they were going to adjust it, change it to a hit in a wild.
Yeah.
Like, trying to pull off a crit in a wild. Yeah, I know it's 7 dice.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, then lower the cost to 2?
Take her in the new Guardians, and she could potentially re-roll 2 of those.
That's very true. That's very true.
Yeah.
She's going to be... with that change, she definitely wants any source of re-rolls on Dragonfang to get the flurry off more consecutively.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, it was a good nerf. It's fine. I know, like you had said, she overperformed everywhere else except for us, I guess.
Except for every time I took Valkyrie, I never got flurry off with Dragonfang. I would go into the activation with her kind of hoping for it and planning for that to happen, and then she just never rolled the wild, and now she has to roll wild and a crit. So it's like, well, I'm just Dragon Fane's a single attack for me. That's okay. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
It's still a good 3 power, being strength 7 and gives bleed for a 3 threat. Like, it's still a good attack.
Xavier Protocols didn't break down who was taking. Where was she ranked on that in comparison to?
She's dropped every season.
Has she? Okay. Because like Dan had said, it would make sense if people were taking Steve Rogers' Avengers. Why she would have? Because she's on the Avengers list, so it makes sense that she was that good. And I guess in A-Force 2, being able to bounce more energy over to her.
Yeah.
So I guess I get that. I don't know. It just feels like it was Again, she didn't perform well for any of us most of the time, so I don't know. It's fine.
I mean,
whatever. I don't play this game.
I do think it's really cool. She's one of few characters that round 1, turn 1, reliably, like almost without fail, double move and then throw someone. It's a really great start to the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get off this objective.
Or double move and attack with a charge. Like, I really like her. I think she's still really good, and they didn't really hurt the most important thing about her, which was being able to do those things reliably. She has a charge, she has a throw, she is Asgardian.
Well, you can still
It
turn
hurts.
1, you can move and charge, and then you're almost certainly going to have the power next turn to Asgardian Might and attack more.
I think of her, and I know she was taking other affiliations that weren't Asgard, and that's what made her so much better. But I feel like in Asgard, a team that already struggles to perform either really well or to get the most bang out of their threat buck, this was more detrimental to Asgard specifically. That like we probably maybe won't see her anymore in Asgard get taken, or she will drop to the lowest because I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
I just want to see more Asgardians to help fill out that list so there's more options because they still only have 5.
Yeah, we need a Heimdall, like real bad.
I'd love to see Heimdall. I say every time Warriors 3 and Sif would be amazing.
Sif for sure. I don't think most people know who the Warriors 3 are.
They need to look it up then because Volstagg the Vast, come on.
Listen, I want a big fat guy with a red beard, like absolutely. But
Was he bald?
no.
No, you.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't be into him.
He
That's
wears
why I only
all
play Cassandra
pink.
Nova.
He's like, I'm a gigantic fat dude with a big red beard and a pink suit. Like, who cares? Like, come at me. You're not going to hurt me.
Why? What's wrong with men wearing pink?
Nothing. But
Then
he
why-
owns it.
Well, he
Why
sticks
would
out. He
that
sticks
would-
out.
Oh, fair.
Yeah,
Makes
he
you
doesn't
a
care
target.
about
You're not-
camouflage.
Yeah, you're not
Yeah.
tactical. I will. All right, let's talk about Enchantress because I got thoughts.
Okay.
Because I thought that's who we were talking about. Because you reversed the order from what I thought we were doing. So
Gotcha.
yeah,
That's
I'm
fair.
going off our Discord over at patreon.com/professionalcasual. As little as $1 get access to our Discord. I was going through that order, so I was really confused what you guys were talking about at first.
Yeah, Sure
that's
Thing
fair.
was on it in the Discord. He was like, hey, new stuff, throw it up
Yeah,
there. And I
for
was
real,
like,
thank
oh,
you.
shit. Oh, I didn't realize this was coming out today. This is great. I guess they revealed these on the stream today. Little hidden reveal instead of on their usual, transmission post. So thanks, Sure Thing.
So what's up with Enchantress? What do you want to talk about with her?
Why don't you go over the card first?
Okay.
I'm still trying to figure out all the words that I want to say here.
Gotcha. So the big change is that they made Amora's Kiss an action, which is a hard nerf.
This is where you can steal a asset or civilian token from the enemy. So hugely powerful ability.
Correct. Outside that, Siren's Call
Yeah.
went from being able to only target a single character once a turn to only being able to use total once per turn, which is the other nerf that she got.
So I will say this, that I think Aurora's Kiss in general was starting to balance itself out, and that more crises were coming out where asset or civilian tokens weren't existing anymore. So she was losing that ability altogether, which was one of the big things that you bring her for. Or you can counterplay if you know your opponent is bringing Enchantress. And now that you don't get to select the crisis that you bring,
Correct.
if you are bringing Crisis that only, you would have to extra plan for it now, right? All 3 Crisis that you would have to bring would have to have an asset or civilian token, or actually all 6, I guess, because assets and
reds
are only
have
reds.
it, yeah.
So, little things like that. I'm not totally mad that it's an action now,
Yeah.
because I guess I kind of always thought it was an action, maybe, or something. I still hate that it's range 1.
Yes.
I want it to be range 2.
Well, and for me with that being an action, it's the same cost as Enthrall. I'll probably just Enthrall instead. I can do it from further away. I don't need to put myself into danger of being actually up there in person. And if I do daze them or kill them, then I can just pick up the asset token. Granted, it's a guarantee versus, just me whiffing on another big attack. But still, I feel you can do it safer from further away.
And you're putting out conditions.
And you're putting out conditions.
Yeah.
I do find it surprising they changed it to an action since we got Black Cat so recently that has the same ability with a different name.
Yep.
It's not an action.
Isn't it?
I just checked her card. It's
Okay.
not an action. Her Master Cat Burglar.
So are we going to see a change to that too, I wonder? Like, are they going to make all of this? Because right then and there, Black Cat is a 3 threat. Mm-hmm. And it's literally the same thing, right?
Yeah, just choose an enemy character within 1, move 1 asset or civilian token the chosen character is holding to this character. This character is now holding it.
Right. So, like...
And it costs 3.
And it costs 3 and it's not an action. Like, I understand this was specifically a nerf because Enchantress was the most taken character in Xavier Protocols. A lot of people had complained that she's just too powerful. Mm-hmm. And I get that. I totally do. It just... I think if you're going to make an action, they should have increased it to range 2. Also, because she's a 4 threat character, separating her, making her slightly better than Black Cat would have been cooler.
So I completely agree. I think they should have increased the range on that if they were going to make that an action. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, range 1 is very limiting. You're talking an inch. Mm-hmm. Like that's not a lot to play.
I mean,
with
she is in
movement.
danger of getting smacked in the face.
Yeah.
Yep.
You give them an inch, they think they're a ruler. You know what I mean? But, and outside that, the Siren's Call change, honestly, I'm not sure. Like, that's fair. It limits it.
Again, and probably this, I don't know about you guys, didn't realize you couldn't do that more than one turn, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was real specific. You could only do it to a character once per turn. Mm-hmm. So you couldn't just move somebody a bunch of times, which I thought made perfect sense. Changing it to just once per turn, I guess. I haven't gone up against Enchantress that many times. We don't take her that often on the channel.
Right.
I think because she's so high up in the meta, we stay away from it. I don't want to play the real good characters. We want to play the B team.
I think it's just because we don't run Asgard. We rarely run Asgard. She's only on Asgard, and we tend to try to stay, except for you, try to stay in affiliation when we run stuff.
And sometimes it's really hard to fit a 4 threat as your out of affiliation character.
Yeah.
Right. That was my point.
Makes sense.
Yep. Thanks, Dan. I don't know.
Granted, I see it because, especially with Amora's Kiss, the fact that she could pretty reliably set herself up to get a bunch of power with the way that Spurned Affection works, especially in a Cabal list, she was normally pretty flush. So to be able to go up, move everyone away, move the guy with the asset token to you, and then take it from them before you finger guns and moonwalk away. It was a lot.
A lot you could do on her turn.
You're
still going? I thought you get 2 actions.
Right. And so now you need to be significantly more intent on what you're doing because you can only use Siren's Call once per turn.
I don't know if it will happen, but I would very much like to see how well, I would like to now see her get played a bunch. I think a lot of people are just going to immediately see this, and then come December of next year when these cards finally drop. That's not even a joke. They said December of next year. They said Q4 of 22, which would be
I think the thing we saw said it was Q4 this year that these were dropping.
Yeah, when they first announced these at Mini Stravaganza, they said before the end of the year.
Okay.
At least the PDFs of it, probably not the physical cards.
That's what I mean. Well, that's because some people make statements that we're not using them until they are physically released. So I'm saying when they get released in Q4 of 2022. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I don't know. I think immediately everybody's going to go well, she's 4 threat. She's now super handicapped in a lot of ways. And then she's just going to drop to, I wouldn't say power bottom 10, but probably around 12. You know what I
Power
mean?
bottom 12 or top 12?
No, power bottom 12.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Like she's not gonna totally bottom out.
Yeah.
Because there are going to be some people who are just hard on for her. But I don't think you're going to see them too
I mean, she still does the things she needs to do. You just need to be a lot more intent on using it.
Yeah.
Like,
I think
Yeah.
she's
you
still
can
good.
very much make action economy mistakes here and ruin your plan.
Right.
While
I think-
before, you could kind of do whatever you wanted and still pull it off.
Yeah.
I think what we'll see is everybody will drop out. Then a few really good players are going to bring her back, and everybody's going to forget how to deal with her again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And yeah, I don't know. I'm not upset about it. I really liked her, and I never used her correctly. Like I never used her not correctly, effectively. I never mid-maxed her abilities.
Yeah.
And I still always really liked her. So
I still think she's really good. It's still asset stealing. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Any way to literally take victory points from your opponent is still a powerful ability.
Yep.
So I think she's still solid. She's just not like as top tier 4 as she was.
One of the few hard counters to something like stacking a bunch of hammers or something along those lines on a near unkillable character like She-Hulk that you don't want to target, or New Hulk. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So.
Oh god, 4 hammers on New Hulk.
Right. I mean, granted, it's only one at a time, but still, full send.
I like a situation where. No, those weren't words I meant to say. The difference between these two, between Enchantress and Valkyrie, that if I'm playing as Guardians, I think I'm still going to take Enchantress over Valkyrie every time now. Because I almost feel like Valkyrie's... I know she's a 3, but I'd rather run a bare-bones Loki and Enchantress with... what's his nuts? Thor.
Yeah.
And just maybe run... Instead of trying to mid-max all my threats. But I also love Loki in comparison to Valkyrie. I also love Enchantress in comparison to Valkyrie. All they did was just make me not like Valkyrie more. And I already didn't like her to begin with because she just never performed for me like she did for everybody else.
See, that's the downside with Loki now going forward with the new gem rules is that if he's in your roster, you have chosen beforehand whether he has that gem or not. So he is a little bit more locked in. You can't be as freeform with him, which also hurts Starlord as well. Being able to have that flex single point to throw to make weight.
That flex single point's so huge. I want to see something else in the game that's one threat that we can throw in here and there.
Mm-hmm. So
Also, now as I'm thinking about it, because we were talking, forgot that he was a gem bearer. Why are we not getting characters that are that can take gems again? Like, why? It seems like that whole gimmick has just been dropped off.
Yeah.
Oh, completely, yeah.
Yeah, like-
After Thanos, there hasn't been a single one.
Like, it's just weird. No, Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange came after Thanos.
Oh, I guess he did, yeah.
I was actually looking at the
Dummy.
first 50 today to see what constituted as the first 50 released. And yeah, Doctor Strange initially on my first pass through on MCPDB was number 50, but also didn't take into effect that MCPDB also listed revised copies of things. So I was just like, oh, there's 10 per page. I go to page 5, last one, top 50.
Gotcha.
Not the case.
What's revised? Oh, because they have like Steve Rogers and Steve Rogers
Correct. Yeah.
revised.
So there was a couple that were
Revised.
listed twice. I think it ended up going up to Daredevil. Daredevil and Bullseye were
That's it.
the end of the 50.
Wow.
But
It doesn't seem like that far in, but when you start with 10 or 12 that we got in that first wave.
well, see, and granted, there wasn't a way to organize it by release date because the release date, depending on where you are, has been all over the place.
Yeah.
So that top 50 also included Sam Wilson and War Machine.
Yeah, because you can't go
And
by
things like that.
Are they going by CP number? Or are they going
Correct.
by release date? Are they going by American release date? Or are they going by UK release date?
Right.
They said first 50, and it's like we don't know what that means. There's so many different ways that could go.
Mm-hmm.
I will find out when we find out, I guess,
Correct.
because they don't seem to be clearing that up.
Yeah, I
From
mean,
what I've seen
the
in
new
the
card for
thing.
Hulkbuster might come out next week. You know what I mean? Like so. But and then our final one,
Yeah, I'd like to specifically blame Dan for this.
Medusa.
For what?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, because you complained. And,
I did?
Yeah, and as per usual, you got what you wanted in life.
I did say that she was one I thought needed a little bit of a tone down.
Yeah, and so they did.
Thanks,
Hard.
AMG. Appreciate it. So she's got her.
Next thing you know, Bitter Rivals is going to get banned.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
yeah.
So for my
instead of restricted, which
Yeah.
is perfectly acceptable.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll get restricted. I think the only thing that's changed in her is her braid bash attack, which is what made her the arguably the best four.
No, there was a second thing. I just don't remember what it was now.
So her braid bash, they changed two things about it. First was that the push happens before damage is dealt now, which is huge.
Yep.
It's not as easy to chain together her flurry, which now also only activates on a crit and a wild. Same as Dragon Fang.
Yes.
It was just Brave Bash. Never mind.
I mean, if they were going to do anything, that was the thing that put her over the top.
That was what everybody complained about, was her
Yep.
double braid bashing, pushing you small twice after everything was done. It was too
Brave Bash was always a 5? I thought it was a 4.
Nope. It was always a 5.
I definitely played that wrong a couple times then. Interesting.
Maybe you were shocked. Or the target of bitter rivals.
No, because I forget those things constantly. No, because I don't know. Maybe I was always rolling 5 dice. Again, same situation. I wish the flurry wasn't a critical in a wild. I wish it was a hit in a wild,
Yeah.
because I already struggled to get flurry off half the time anyway.
right.
I never got it. I don't know why everybody was bitching that flurry was too powerful, because I rarely ever got it. I was always fishing for it, and it never hit for me. Granted, I don't think I ever really played Medusa out of Affiliation anyway, so maybe Affiliations that did have rerolls inherently built into it. Oh, she has
Yeah, she has a built-in. I mean,
built-in
for
one.
herself at least, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe that was the trick. Maybe taking her in Affiliations that allowed her to re-roll
Even more.
even more. I don't know. But I rarely ever got flurry off, and it was infuriating because that's the whole point.
Infuriating.
I'm really glad I'm just a guest on this show.
I think the change to the push would have been kind of enough there. I can't remember what my recommendations were when I said I wanted her toned down a little bit. But I think changing the push to being before damage, so it's harder to capitalize on that flurry.
Yep.
So you have to be fairly close to still be within range 3 after a small push. Because she does have a good range on that attack, too.
Yeah.
Changing the flurry to a crit in a wild does seem a bit much. It is 5 dice with a reroll, so obviously it's not impossible, but it's not anywhere near as reliable as it was.
Also, the trigger for the push in general is a wild now instead of just being if damage was done.
Oh, shit, that's okay. Yeah, that's different. Good call. Good catch.
So that was the
Yeah,
other-
I think that is a little too much. I don't know. I mean, she's only a 4th thread, and they treated her like she was a 5, or I don't know. She's a 4th threat that was hitting pretty effectively, but I feel like they nerfed her as if she was a 3 threat hitting like a 5. You know what I mean? Like they handicapped her a little too much. Did the size, and the size didn't change, so it's still
Yeah,
a 3.
3.
I almost would have liked to see an automatic push, but make it a size 2 or less. And then still make it before damage is dealt. Either make it a wild, but have it happen whenever,
Yeah.
or make it automatic, but damage or the push is done before the damage is dealt.
I could see the size 2 thing, but it really doesn't limit her much because there's just so few characters. I mean, yeah, she's not pushing Thanos or Black Dwarf or whatever as much anymore, but she's still
Lizard.
pushing 90% of the character.
Yeah, there's
pool.
only like 4 characters, Tim, that are size 3. Okay,
That's true. You know?
I don't know.
This is one I'll have to see how it plays out. I'm pretty okay with it because she was widely considered the best 4. So having her, I mean, she's still really
Well,
good.
and that was she was only considered the best 4 because Loki was considered a 5.
Yes, exactly.
So
And I think so. A lot of that was that double braid bash, double short push after.
Oh, yeah.
Was massive. So she could do a decent amount of damage and then shove you.
yeah,
Really far.
across the board.
You know, like 2 short pushes is no joke.
No.
Especially if they're on a larger base.
Yeah, for real.
Because if you shove somebody twice, there's plenty of size 3s that are on a medium base.
That's why I would have liked it at size 2.
I'm okay with it. I don't know enough about Medusa in the comics to see like what kind of things she's done with her hair to limit that or not. I'm assuming that's why they make it size 3. Maybe
One-
she routinely moves around big dudes or whatever, but Yeah, I like your idea of not making it a wild, but keeping it before damage is dealt and reducing it to size 2.
One of the kind of Medusa weaknesses, at least in the comics, that was always super important, is that if you could find something to get her hair tangled in, similar to the spokes of a bike or a motorcycle,
No, thanks Ravensguard.
was usually the way to get around that.
So you think she should have a new tactics card with her remade card in the physical pack?
Yes, where she can move long if someone within range 2 of her uses the motorcycle tactics card, because her hair gets tangled up with it and she gets dragged along. So it's actually very similar to...
someone else uses the motorcycle, they move long, and then she gets placed within one of them because she got dragged along.
Exactly. So it works exactly like the Ghost Rider one, where they get dragged along with the motorcycle movement.
Oh, not that again.
I want to die.
So chat is pretty much just delighting me very personally right now a lot. Everyone on the moon does have motorcycles. That's why the Inhumans are there. Because everyone would be super jealous of that.
Yeah. You feel better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm actually very happy with that. So do we have confirmation for my other player this next week?
Yes. As far as I know, he is ready and excited.
Excited. So you're excited. Feel these nipples, Greg. But it's a quote from one of the greatest cinematic masterpieces of all time, Basketballs. But
You know what's real quick. You know what's really sad about that? He's not the first person who has said that to me.
That particular line?
No, that Basketball is one of the greatest cinematic movies of all time. I don't know if it's just like a joke I don't get, or if it is actually one of the greatest movies of all time.
I watched it once in like middle school, and it was pretty bad. I referenced it in the past with my students, and they just look at me and it's like crickets, and I'm like, I can't recommend this movie to you because you're too young, but it's a movie. It's pretty dumb, but it's funny.
you watched it in middle school and you didn't like it? Because I feel like if you watched it after middle school, there's no chance you will enjoy that movie.
It was just so. And I know. I guess when I did watch it at the time, I thought it was pretty good. I like the concept that they made a sport where there wasn't all the trading and whatnot.
Yeah.
But so much. It's just. That's what I got from it. Yeah. I just so much.
To be fair, that is the premise of part of the reason they made Basketball was that, football teams are moving from city to city and they're trading players. Like
That was the whole reason they created the sport of basketball. Mm-hmm. But I enjoyed South Park at the time, but I found this one not nearly as funny. I felt like it tried too hard to be super edgy humor.
That's fair.
The censor bars in the locker room scene is pretty classic, though.
Yes. That said, though, one thing that we're very excited for this upcoming Monday on Oh Yeah, the Power Phase, we will be featuring a new player,
A new challenger.
a new challenger. We'll be doing a teaching game with Tyler, Danny's brother.
Yeah.
Your brother-in-law.
Correct.
So
He's fresh back from Alaska. He had his brush with the bears. He's back now.
And we'll announce it here first. Coming back from Alaska, AMG has yet to announce this, so we will announce it for them. Ursa Major going to be coming out soon. Tyler could see them making Ursa Major from his house in Alaska, so figured we might as well get that in the game.
Because you can see right to Russia from there.
So, very realistically, Wishlist, I would love Red Guardians.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Team.
Yes.
Because I started reading World War She-Hulk.
It's a thing?
Yeah, it was apparently it came out in July, and Marvel Unlimited is now putting them up.
Oh,
Like
super recent?
Yeah.
Oh.
Where it's She-Hulk is having even more trouble controlling the Hulk side of her. Like she's kind of going even crazier than Bruce Banner's side of Hulk. And it is like full-blown roided out version of She-Hulk, which I absolutely love.
Okay.
And she's developing powers more and more, where she pretty much havocked in Russia where she like gamma exploded kind of and caused a bunch of problems.
Okay.
And the Red Guardians were like, "Hey, you're on trial. We're coming to get you." And they were hiding her in the sentient. I don't know. Apparently it was like used to be a person or a big giant or something, and then Tony Stark turned into a lab.
Like Master Mold or something?
I don't. It's not Master Mold. I think it's like one of the old ones, like what Galactus fought or whatever, or not Galactus.
One of the Eternals?
No,
Or not the Eternals. Sorry.
The big giant floaty things that look like a Galactus, but they're not. Null beat the crap out of them and had
Celestials.
Yeah, I think it's one of them. I don't know. I didn't read the few issues that led up to this actual start. It's in Avengers, I'm pretty sure. Anyway,
Gotta look this up.
forgot how dope Ursa Major is. And spoilers, 3, 2, 1, don't listen. Here it comes. He gets capped.
He becomes Captain America?
Yeah.
This.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Good for him.
Yeah. Yep.
He's the biggest, drunkest Captain America.
Red Widow gave him that honor real hard.
Oh.
Yep. So, there you
Good
go.
for him.
Yep. Okay, spoilers over. Anyway, yeah, it just made me. I was like, this team is dope.
Yeah.
Holy crap! I want this version of this team. Mm-hmm. Super dope. Also, Skullbuster.
Skullbuster.
No idea who he is. Just Hasbro released a figure of him, and he looks dope as hell. He looks like edgy Cable. That's all I can think.
Edgier?
Like he paints his face like a skull. He's like if Crossbones and Cable were a person,
Yeah, he just kind of looks like Boss Groans.
but like edgier.
He's got like spikes on his shoulder pad. Oh, and he's got a bandolier of like armor-piercing rounds.
Yeah.
So he's like, who are those two dudes? The Dudley brothers?
Yep. Yeah.
Is he actually like a comic character? Does he just? All I see is pictures of this toy.
I don't know, but he looks super dope as hell.
Did I get that name right?
Yeah, the Dudley Boys.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Bubba Ray and Devon.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we need more in this game.
Get the tables.
Looks like
Hero-
he has a
Hero
robot
clicks.
arm. It's his right arm though. Is a robot arm.
Yeah, I think he's just the evil version. Shout out to HeroClix. They made like a WWE HeroClix game.
Really?
Yeah, it's like every game is like a Royal Rumble though. It's kind of weird, but it's kind of neat. I thought it was
Okay.
cool. Any other wish lists you guys got? What's the chat say? Chat have anything?
Oh,
A Hulkman Iron Buster?
Yeah, of course. Good thing that guy who came up with that doesn't come on the show anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the old one and doneer.
Yep.
But, yeah, I'm super excited to play another teaching game. Happy to have some new, fresh blood on the channel. And that's someone that isn't,
And yet still Colt related.
yeah.
He's not a
Cole
Cole
adjacent.
but yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's good. You think he'll get too salty?
No.
You think Tim's gonna miss that?
I mean, I'm sure he does.
Yeah.
But Tyler's not going to get salty. He's just going to be like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's neat.
I think he'll have a lot of fun with it, though, and I think people will enjoy Tyler.
I enjoy Tyler.
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
Gray hair.
He cut most of it off.
Oh fucking. He had a sweet Dog the Bounty Hunter like mullet going. I was really hyped for him.
As far as wish list characters go, the Dark Prince said Slapstick. I would adore
my God.
if they made a Mercs with Money team so we could get Slapstick and Stingray and
I
Madcap.
actually love Stingray's look,
Yeah.
if it's who I'm thinking of.
And Terror. And
Well, Whirlwind. I don't think he's part of that team, but I always like the look of I think it's Whirlwind. With the buzzsaws on his forearms.
I'm trying to think about because all the Mercs for Money were just other people that dressed up as different colored Deadpool so he could do more more birthday parties.
Oh, that's not who I thought Stingray was. He looks lame. He looks like Falcon. Oh, I think I'm thinking Tiger Shark.
Oh, gotcha.
Cottonmouth.
Cottonmouth.
I was thinking Tiger Shark. I like his look. He's he's goofy looking.
I feel like there was a shark guy in there somewhere.
Maybe I'm thinking the Constrictor.
There was these two other guys. There was like Spanish-speaking Deadpool that no one really knew who it was. Who was just a dude with a knife in like a loose-fitting Deadpool costume that would go around and stab people.
Okay.
It was pretty solid. It was a great team. I would love to see them in this
Love
game.
to see them make that into a movie. Like add that to like Deadpool 3.
Yeah, and they actually. So yeah, I wouldn't be shocked by that at all. And they all die in a cutscene real quick.
Yeah. And then it's Danny Trejo just walking around with a machete stabbing people.
Yeah. Solo was
watched
another
that.
one who was pretty much just like bootleg Punisher. He was like a guy that was in the army, and now he's a guy with guns that kills bad people. So,
Good
but
thing.
yeah, but Slapstick was there, which I always thought was
All right.
unique.
Okay. That's dope.
I wouldn't mind more of the older style Avengers villains we haven't seen in a long time, like Constrictor and Whirlwind, and I think his name's Blizzard.
You know, I forgot about we've definitely talked about Blizzard being on a short list before, but
You have, yes.
I forgot about Constrictor.
I think he looks pretty cool. He's got that kind of snakeskin looking thing, and he's kind of like Whiplash, Omega Red, tentacle dude.
Yeah,
I forget what his tentacle things do. I think he can like.
they're adamantium, aren't they? Wasn't because didn't he fight
Sounds familiar.
Wolverine a bunch, or am I thinking
I think you're thinking of
Cyber?
Omega Red. Cyber just had adamantium arms.
Gotcha. But
was
he
a
could like
huge
inject you
dude.
with things or something.
He had
like,
poison
little
stuff
prickly
too.
bits.
Yeah.
Yo,
like
Lady
Cyber-
Deathstrike.
Yeah.
I would
Deathstrike
like
is
an
cool.
expansion of like a Weapon X program.
And we could get Phantom X.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want
Weapon 10
Phantom X.
himself.
What do you think? Do you think we're ever going to see a character drop that is just fully a support character, like a Howard the Duck or a J. Jonah Jameson or something to that caliber? Like, I think over in the unofficial Facebook group, somebody dropped like a J. Jonah Jameson
Yeah.
card.
Yeah.
And I actually
Pretty
like,
funny.
I didn't think the card was interesting, but I liked the concept of it. I like this idea of an affiliate, like a new leader affiliation of a cheap leader who's literally just there to give support to other characters. I like that as an idea. I just don't. I mean, the way that character was designed, he'd get capped immediately. But he's also just a dude. He's a
Right.
dude with a grudge against a guy in a mask.
I saw that one. I thought they did very well.
Yeah, I
with
thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
That was a really cool idea. I wonder if we actually will ever see that.
I'd like to see one threat characters eventually to help fill those spots when it's like, well, you know, we pulled 18 threat and the guy with already decided that, but I can only build 17, unfortunately, and like have or some kind of I know in Legion, Star Wars Legion, they had a they called it a bid, where if you played under the point cost, you got some kind of bonus. But I know they're trying to get away from that because people were abusing that. But if you're talking 1 point, like if you're under by 1 point, you get something during the game,
Even
like
if it's just starting
a few
with priority or
rerolls or
something?
something. Yeah, even that would be worth
Honestly,
it.
that might be a little too powerful. But what I would like to see is if you play under a point, and just one, you just have to play under 1 point.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you play under 2 or 3. It's just as everybody gets an additional energy at the beginning of the first power phase. Like just like everybody gets an additional energy. So then like Asgard would get 3, like, you know, so you are handicapping yourself that if you play under your point limit,
Yeah.
you know, you're
An extra power across the board.
right, but it's only the first turn.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's not game breaking. It's not like every turn I get an additional power,
It
but
could be because I see a lot of the meta with things like I'd be able to break this if I had 1 more power. A lot of the like I need to get up there and get the objectives. If I can interact with more than one thing on the first turn, it can be a
Yeah.
really big swing and difficult to undo. I did see Sweet Biscuit said Coulson, and I feel like
Right.
from what we've seen with Coulson in other games where it's Coulson with a giant gun, legitimately just a reskinned Bob. You get the tactical maneuver thing because he's used to, you know, marching agents around.
He doesn't get to come back though because he gets dead.
But then he comes back.
Or then he just has the power, like something about Tahiti,
Yeah.
an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show. Mm-hmm. It's a wonderful place, a beautiful place, I think is his thing.
So, yeah, I think 2-threat Coulson absolutely tracks.
But I want 1 threat characters. Can we have a 1 threat Coulson?
I think we need 1-threat equipment and buffs.
I want that so bad.
Yeah.
what if we
Rocket
did
boots.
this though? What if a 1-threat character for every affiliation that comes out, like they just do a huge run of just like, hey, here's a bunch of 1-threat characters that are coming out
Sure.
to fit into the majority.
Yeah.
But you can't take them out of affiliation.
Oh, I like that.
Huh.
So
That's
like,
interesting.
let's say they drop J. Jonah Jameson. He can only be taken in Spider Foes. Like maybe he's the leader, maybe he's the affiliation leader, and then he gets a rule like Dormammu, where if you play this character, you have to take Spider Foes.
Because he just rallies everybody to fight Spider-Man. I
Right.
like that.
Like something to that effect. So like, because otherwise one threat characters would get abused for sure. Like they are going to then knock Okoye off the mountain. You know what I mean? Like just because they're one threat.
Right.
You know.
I think I can understand why they haven't made any yet, because it would be really easy to flood the board and just hold all the objectives. It's like, oh, you dazed 2 of my characters this round,
Maybe
but I
that's-
have 3 more.
Maybe that's the other balance. Maybe every one threat character gets a rule that says you can only have one threat character in your roster
Yeah.
at this threat level.
Because the whole point would be just to fill that extra spot if you end up with,
Right.
not the right number of points. Because we've talked about the idea of having like equipment cards, but I feel like it was Anthony we were talking one time after, the power phase on the Twitch, where he was, but that can really mess up the balance of the game. Because it's like you have like a body armor equipment that gives you +1 physical defense, that can really throw off how characters are supposed to work. Because you put that on like Enchantress, now it's not as big of a deal.
You would literally have to go through and say, this character can use power, like equipment, bodyguard, like they did with the gems.
Which I thought
correct.
was super great. I love what they did with the gems. I just want more of that.
Right.
Like even like we were saying before, just having more characters that can use gems. I just wish they would base it more off the comics than the movies.
Yeah,
It drives
we
me
need
crazy that Drax can't have the power gem.
We need MGH, honestly, and MCP.
Mutant growth hormone.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Oh,
You know?
That's fair.
I'll make a, you know what? Yeah, I'll declare it now. I'll make a crisis where, similar to some of the effects that we saw, like in the separation anxiety event and stuff like that, you get MGH, you roll a die, you get a random mutant power based on what you roll, or short movement if you roll a skull.
Okay. I'd
Cool.
be down for that.
Yeah.
Why not?
let's make some crises.
One last thing before we go. Non-MCP related, but I still want to talk about it because I think I figured it out.
Okay.
Stiltman. You know him, you love him.
Yeah.
I've been wanting him in the MCU forever right now. Stillman is my favorite villain of all time. I'm declaring it now. I don't even care anymore. Shout out to Lady Stillman. I think I figured out where he's going to be in the MCU. Because I would like to remind everybody, Patton Oswalt, when he was making the Hulu MODOK series, wanted Stiltman, and Disney told him no, because somebody else has the rights to Stiltman. And he's like, who would have who would have
the
it?
villain for?
Daredevil originally.
Oh god.
He's like a New York City villain, so.
Okay.
Yeah, he was,
still-
but he
still
he
Disney.
appeared in Daredevil like something in the 60s, like a low number in the 60s.
Yeah.
And Patton Oswalt was like, "Who would have him? Who needs him? He fits perfect into my story.
Yeah.
Like he's an obscure character that nobody cares about. Why can I not have him?" And Disney was just like, "Can't have him." I'd like to point out real quick, Punisher did get picked up. The original series is getting brought over. I guess I don't know if it's remade or if it's a continuation of the Netflix series onto Disney. If you were going to relaunch a Punisher War Journal storyline, the first thing you absolutely do is you put in Stiltman and shoot him in the dick with an RPG.
That's a season opener.
That is a season. That is an issue 1. That's how you get people to watch the show.
That is literally, that is
Yeah.
the end
would
of the
watch
first
that.
episode.
Yes.
Where, like, he's been beaten down. You don't know if he's in our universe or other universes. And there's Stiltman, and there's the rocket launcher. And then you get the big, like, wow, like air guitar to, like, go for the theme music when it goes out and the credits start to roll right after he blows Stiltman in the dick with that
Yes.
RPG. Yep.
That's what I want. That is what I want.
It'll be, it really sets the tone for the rest of the series.
Yes, exactly.
Yep.
Yes. I'm calling it
When's
now.
the show coming out? I want to watch this.
I think they announced that it's getting bumped to 2023? Question mark?
Oh, it's a
Something
real
like-
thing? I thought we were.
No, it is really the guy originally who was
Every
doing,
good lie has little flecks of truth.
Well, no, like well, no, this is my assumption. This is my
Right.
assumption. I don't know this for a fact, but it's true because it's canon now. But they
say
had
it on the
announced
show.
that the guy who originally played Punisher in the Netflix series did get greenlit for like a revamp of the series, and is coming to reprise the role again.
Heck yeah, he's a great actor. I like
Yeah,
him.
I can't.
the
His
Punisher
name
series,
completely
though.
escapes me now.
John Bernthal.
Thank you. I always, for some reason, I always think his last name's Martinez, and I don't know why. I'm thinking of somebody else, but I don't
Maybe
know.
you
why.
played a character with that name.
Yeah, maybe that's what I'm thinking
Yeah.
of.
He's well known.
I don't know.
Being Shane on The Walking Dead.
Yeah,
Way
He played
back
good
when
Shane.
it was good.
I like the idea of them bringing those Netflix shows for a continuation.
Yes, I want to see Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin again.
Oh my god, I would love to see Tim Robbins. I think you should leave in the MCU.
What?
Talking about Netflix originals being brought to.
Oh God, what are you talking about with Tim Robbins?
Is it Tim Robbins? Have you seen that sketch comedy show? I think you should leave.
No, I haven't watched that yet.
It's really absurdist humor, but it is. When it hits so hard,
All right.
so hard, and then it's a bunch of garbage. But
Okay. Fair.
when it hits real good.
All right.
Oh, Tim
I know
Robbins.
you did recommend that to me a while ago, and I just haven't gotten there yet.
There's I mean, fuck it, going off like hard
Yeah.
off topic.
Tim Robinson.
There's a he was on SNL for a bit. Was never really given time to shine.
Oh, I recognize.
There's a
that.
bit where there's like this like store, like a clothing store, like on Main Street, and all of a sudden a giant hot dog car crashes into it. And everyone's like, someone gets hurt, and people are like, oh my God, who did this? Like, who drove this in here? And there's Tim Robinson in a hot dog outfit who like jumps into the crowd and is like, who could have done this? And just tries to sell it the whole time as if like he doesn't know who it is. There's a guy in a yellow and red suit. He's like, look at that guy. That guy dressed as a hot dog too. Why are we blaming him? Like, it's incredible.
All right. Okay.
Sounds stupid and great.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it is very stupid.
It's very on brand for our humor. That makes a lot of sense.
While we're way off topic, the thing I kickstarted is called Senjuku Battle for Japan, which is like a one-on-one duel with samurai stuff,
Oh,
which is it looks really cool.
no, we need Silver Samurai.
I love
Bring
Silver.
it
I would
back
love
on
Silver
topic.
He'd be like a good Viper because he could teleport.
4-threat Viper, 6 strength builder
Yeah, he absolutely would.
with probably invulnerability too.
And he's got a pierce on it because his sword can cut through like anything.
Yeah.
That's his mutant powers. He can like make it like real hot type thing.
It gets angrier and it gets hotter.
Auto Pierce.
Yeah. Or I
Auto
guess it could be
pierce.
on a wild. Or maybe what you get one pierce. Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the idea of invulnerability because of his armor. Doesn't he have something where he can like shine a bright light from the sword or something and blind people? Is that a thing? Or am I making that up?
Well, he is silver.
He is very bright.
Yeah, which means it's also he should be immune to poison because silver is antibacterial by nature.
I'm actually really surprised he wasn't packaged with Viper because they are often together in the comics. Like in
Yeah.
the New Mutants, the first 20 issues of that we read, there was a bit thing with Viper and Silver Samurai. Mm-hmm. And he was just kind of like, these kids are annoying, I'm gone.
Yeah. Oh, and he can teleport too, right? Oh, yeah, that's what you said with the ring.
There you go.
That's exactly what I said.
Full circle, everybody.
Whee!
Thanks, Dan.
But we did it. So thank you once again, everyone. Make sure to give us a follow, a like, a subscribe here on the YouTubes. And go check out the podcast version, too, if you want to hear the same thing, but without seeing us. That said, we'll see you next week. And make sure to check us out Monday at twitch.tv/Professional Casual Network, where I'll be teaching our new, tentatively tactical Tyler.
Say hi to Tyler for us.
Say hi to Tyler for us.
I'm really excited about it for you.
I'm excited about it.
I hope he falls in love with this game.
Mhm.
He's on all the time.
Mhm.
He's then, hey, can I do the talk show part? And then you don't have to bring me on as a guest anymore. That's what I'm leaning hard for.
I mean, listen,
That's what I want.
we are on the same page. But have a good day, everyone. Bye.
Bye.